Hey guys, welcome back. So today's Tuesday. The market is obviously in session today, or was in session today. Market is down. Miners are down. Obviously, Bitcoin is down again for the second day in a row. We'll take a look at Bitcoin. We'll take a look at the miners also. Hope you guys like the new studio setup here. And if you can guess what chart that is of that I follow, you guys will get a pat on the back. So just something fun to do. But we'll take a look at, there's some story on Bitcoin possibly going down. We'll take a look at that. We got also Intel is going to be doing possibly ASIC miners. So that is interesting. We don't have a lot of details, but we'll take a look at what we do have. And then we also have Cardano set to do a SundaeSwap launch this Thursday, I believe. So we'll take a look at that as well, see what that means. We'll take a look at all the stories together here. Haven't had much time to prepare a little bit today since doing the studio thing. But let's get into it and we'll take a look. But before we do that, as always, not financial advice, for entertainment only. Do your own research. Don't fall for scams. Spam posts get reported and deleted. All right. So here we have the miners. Argo is obviously down today. It was down 2.82% to 107. So we're seeing the continuation of a downtrend in the miners and Bitcoin in general. Let's see if we got anything as far as new on institution-wise. And the latest is still 1130, so nothing new here. Take a look at Bitfarms. Bitfarms is down also to 419. It was down 8.11% on the day. So another down day. It's not looking good. And no updates on the institutions as well. Cleanspark was down 9.17% on the day to 743. I do own, obviously, Bitfarms, Cleanspark, and Hive. I may be looking to get a little bit more Cleanspark if it stays this price for a couple more days. I got to get some cash over. But looking to possibly buy some more of that. I did buy some more Rivian today on the sale, so trying to keep getting my dollar cost averaging down on that one. Let's take a look at Digihost. Digihost is down 3.01% to 387. And we do have a report here. Baquet Capital Management looks like they, no percent change. It looks like they just reported that they obviously still have the same amount. Looks like 5% or so. Take a look at DMG. DMG was down 3% today, 3.06, down to 60 cents. And we don't have any institutional updates here. Hive was obviously down big today, 9.92%, down to 218. And we don't have any updates on them as well. And we're obviously seeing this continuation of the downtrend here as well. Bitcoin is down, so everything is down today. HUD was down 6.65% to 618. No institutional change here. Iris Energy was down also big, 8.91% to 1103. We don't have anything reported here on them. That's new for institutions. Mara was down 8.81% also to 26.07. Nothing new for institutions here. We had a nice little bounce here last week when Bitcoin went up a little bit, and then we've continued the downtrend here in the last couple of days. And then Mawson is down 1.39% to 496. And we don't have any new information from anybody here. I can't remember if this was already in here at 11:30. I think it was. So nothing new here. Mawson is right now in my naughty list. They still have not provided their December production updates. I'm going to give them a couple more days. And if they don't provide anything, I'll just do the miner versus miner without them. And then if anything, we'll get rid of Mawson because we just can't depend on them to provide out timely information, and there's absolutely no reason that they shouldn't be able to provide that information to investors, especially since that is their bread and butter, the mining. They should be putting that information out for investors to know what's going on. We can't go to a store, see how they're doing, check out their sales or check out online sales or anything like that. The only thing that we can go by is obviously the stats that they provide us. So they are on my naughty list right now. We'll see if they provide anything. And then finally, Riot was down 9.57%, down big again today, along with the other guys. And we don't have any new institutional information on them, so they are at 1870 right now. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. We'll see what Bitcoin's doing here. Bitcoin obviously is down today, we crossed over to it. Let me see, yeah, BTC. We crossed over it, but we were up a little bit on the day, but we were way down to about 41,289 on the day in the last 24 hours. And then we slowly climbed back up, but we are red again today. So not a good sign here. Pretty good volume here, better than the last 3 days. Obviously, we had the weekend. We didn't have any trading yesterday on it. RSI is still looking good, but like I keep saying, we may dip down to the 37,500 level, somewhere around there, which is our next support. If I zoom out far enough, I think we have it in here. Or maybe I don't have it in here, but it looks like it's 37,500 right here based on these supports here a little bit. So we'll see how this plays out. Ethereum was also obviously down the last, well, it's down the last 2 days here, and right now it's in the red as well. And it is at 3,158. RSI is still looking good. So we'll have to see how this all plays out. We'll take a look at some of the news stories here as well. But let's take a look at Bitcoin's hash rate right now. We got the miners revenue, total hash rate. There it is. Oh boy, that has definitely skyrocketed now. On the 7-day average, we're at 196. So we're definitely reaching new all-time highs here on the hash rate. Let's take a look at the raw values here, see what we get. We've obviously reached 216 million here on January 12th. We've come back down a little bit, so it is continuation of an uptrend here, and it is going up nicely. So miners are getting installed. It would be nice to obviously get information from Mawson on that. All right, so let's take a look at the main couple of stories here. We got 3 stories to cover, so we'll do that relatively quickly. So analysts warn that Bitcoin could dip to 38K before an eventual breakout. So Bitcoin obviously continues to struggle below 42,000 as extreme fear grips the crypto market, and analysts hint at a drop to 38. I've been saying this for about a week or so now, that we could drop down to 37,500 possibly before bouncing back up. The cryptocurrency market faced another day of weakness on January 18th as the price of Bitcoin dropped lower and additional pressure was put on the altcoin market. Currently, the Crypto Fear and Greed Index registered extreme fear among investors, and some traders caution that BTC price could soon fall below its recent 39,000 swing low. So here we have the Fear and Greed Index. Data from Cointelegraph, Markets Pro, and TradingView shows that bulls lost control of the 42,000 support level during the early trading hours on January 18th, as bears hammered the BTC price to a daily low of 41,250, which we saw in the chart. January is historically a week for Bitcoin, so many crypto holders who were disappointed by the lack of blow-off top to close out 2021 are also expecting fireworks to start 2022. But historically speaking, January has been one of the most disappointing months for BTC, according to a recent report from Delphi Digital. So here we can see on the chart that historically we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days or 5 years where we were negative, anywhere from 6%, almost 7% down to a high of 30% low in January. So it's a mixed bag right now out of the dates here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So on average, it's been more likely down than up. Delphi Digital pointed to a slowdown in global liquidity growth and tighter policy expectations as the primary source of headwinds for Bitcoin. And they highlighted that these factors have also led to weakness in the stock market, which is considered to be strongly correlated with the price movements seen in BTC. And we've talked about this before, where we've seen institutions basically being in control and retail traders are basically in other coins. Another source of weakness identified by Delphi Digital was a lack of liquidity in the perpetual and futures markets, along with the drop in BTC open interest over the past 2 months. Delphi Digital said, for the most part, the price contraction stemmed from liquidity issues in the prep futures market, which triggered a series of liquidations that exacerbate. You know what that word is. BTC's initial price weakness exacerbated. Boy, I can't say that word. And for what comes next, Delphi Digital indicated that the short-term momentum indicators appeared to signal the worst may be behind us, and the analyst noted that the Fear and Greed Index is set at levels not seen since May 2021. So Bitcoin could dip under 38,000. A similar trend of weakness has addressed by crypto market intelligence firm Decent Trader, which observed that the number of overly bullish on buying the dip traders on crypto Twitter was challenged at around 41,000. The analyst suggests that based on the size and consistency of the BTC drawdown over the past 2 months, a move out of the range to the upside is the most probable outcome eventually, and they expect the price to run towards the 200-day moving average at the point of breakdown in the summer at around 49 to 50,000. So that would be actually pretty good. And it is our view that we may need to see some further ranging between 44 and potentially 38 before an eventual breakout. And that's kind of what I'm saying here also. And that is it for that one. So we'll obviously see what happens with Bitcoin in the coming days and weeks. We'll see if we go down to 37,000 or so. and then possibly bounce from that. So something to keep an eye on and be mindful of. All right, next story. This is the one that kind of really got me interested here. Let's see. Intel to unveil ultra-low voltage Bitcoin mining ASIC in February. The move would bring the chipmaker into the same market with such companies as Bitmain and MicroBT. Obviously, this would be good for the market. Competition is always good. So Intel, one of the world's largest chip makers, is likely to unveil a specialized crypto mining chip at the International Solid State Circuits Conference in February, according to the conference's agenda. One of the Intel's highlighted chip releases at the conference is entitled Bonanza Mine, an ultra-low voltage energy efficient Bitcoin mining ASIC. The session is scheduled for February 23rd. Obviously, Intel has the prowess and the talent to possibly pull this off. This brings the company into direct competition with the likes of Bitmain and MicroBT in the market for Bitcoin mining ASICs or application-specific integrated circuits for the first time. Crypto mining has in the past driven up demand and prices for graphics processing units, including Intel's, so much so that it's attracted the ire of gamers. Unlike its competitor NVIDIA, Intel has said it doesn't plan to add Ether mining limits on its graphics cards. So, talked about a release from Bitmain yesterday about their immersion cooling miners, which I thought weren't worth it. I still think they aren't worth it. So this is actually kind of good news to see from Intel that they are working on ASIC chips that are going to be, low cost or low energy. Because right now, the best one right now is 140 terahash, and it's pulling basically 3,100 watts or something like that, 3,030 watts. So that's a lot. If they can get that down by 25, 30, even maybe 50% less than that, that is going to be a huge improvement. It'll be interesting to see where they actually take this. So I'm really excited about this. It's kind of cool. And then finally, we got Cardano is goes full send with a 50% ADA rally ahead of SundaeSwap launch. So ADA bulls crank the price higher as excitement mounts over the upcoming SundaeSwap DEX launch. So I do own Cardano coins as well. I own Bitcoin, Ethereum as well, for full disclosure. Cardano traded within the striking distance of its 3-week high at the start of this week, leading some investors to suggest that a trend reversal was in order. In reality, the bullish momentum is primarily connected to an anticipation of the upcoming decentralized exchange DEX called SundaeSwap, and the ADA price rose by nearly 12% on January 17th to reach an intraday high of 160 a day after SundaeSwap announced the launch of its fully functional beta decentralized exchange DEX. Nonetheless, the upside swing also came as a part of a wider rebound trend wherein ADA jumped by almost 50% in just 7 days. And we can see it here. So this is great news, obviously, for ADA. We'll see where this goes. I think ADA could potentially go up to maybe $8, $10 this year if Bitcoin goes up to 100,000 possibly. Just like Ethereum could possibly go up to 10,000, even 15,000 if Bitcoin goes up to 100,000. I think Bitcoin will do 2x, Ethereum could do 3 or 4x, and obviously Cardano here could do maybe 4 or 5x based on just the momentum that each one has. In detail, ADA's rebound began almost in sync with similar retracement moves across the cryptocurrency market. That included Bitcoin BTC, which sharply reversed its trend on January 10th after its price dipped to a low of 39,650. At press time, BTC trades at 41.50. ADA initially tailed the crypto market's reversal, but later continued its upside momentum on its own after taking cues from euphoria surrounding the SundaeSwap DEX launch on January 20th. As a result, ADA emerged as one of the best performers among the top 10 cryptocurrency based on a 24-hour adjusted time frame. So what makes SundaeSwap bullish for ADA? SundaeSwap's official DEX launch announcement included evidence of a greater demand for ADA tokens in the future, and this is typically a bullish signal for investors, right? Adoption basically fuels the price. So the more places you can use ADA, like the SundaeSwap and other places like that, the adoption obviously grows, so you're going to get higher demand. Prices obviously going to go up from there. So this is good news. SundaeSwap Labs, the moment we've all been waiting for, has finally come. We're excited and proud to share the SundaeSwap and the ISO will be launching on the evening of Thursday, January 20th. Check out the article below so you can look at that. The DEX platform also introduced its native Sundae token and discussed 3 ways to distribute it among users via initial stake offering, ISO round, yield farming, and direct exchange-based conversions. Discussing the ISO round, SundaeSwap explained that it would distribute 5% of the total SundaeSwap supply via epoch. Each epoch represents a 5-day reward cycle wherein users delegate their ADA tokens into a stake pool. If you want to make sure you qualify for all 5 ISO reward rounds, You may have ADA staked with eligible SPO before 21:45 UTC on January 25th. The DEX announced read adding, your reward will be calculated based on the snapshot taken at the time and at the same time at each subsequent epoch boundary. So there's the calendar. And then ADA to $2. So the SundaeSwap led bounce pushed ADA towards its 100-day exponential moving average, 100-day EMA, the blue wave near 157. So here's that blue wave. We reached it and coming back down from it. Additional bullish cues have also been coming from the anticipated launch of Pavio, Cardano's first metaverse undertaking. Okay, cool. So Cardano's getting into the metaverse as well. Pavio is a Decentraland-like virtual land startup with some 100,000 land parcels, each being minted as a unique non-fungible token with coordinates. The advent of the metaverse in the crypto sector in the past months and Cardano's involvement in it may boost demand for ADA further. And I would agree. Obviously, demand, as demand goes up, obviously the price is going to go up as well. This raises the possibility of Cardano to close above its 100-day EMA resistance wave, thus shifting the next upside target toward the 200-day moving average near the $2. Conversely, risk of an overall crypto market crash led by the U.S. Federal Reserve's tapering programs this year could spoil ADA's bullish setup to an extent, which is true as well. So something to be mindful of. While ADA is far from its peak, the prospect of obtaining more scalability as part of its 2022 roadmap explains why investors appear to be betting big on Cardano. This point was also noted by Liam Bussell, the chief marketing officer of Cardano native DEX Wing Riders. In a statement to Cointelegraph, Bussell said, in a world characterized by high performance and novel use cases, Cardano will be able to keep up and lead the pack. As a result, a weekly closing above 180 is likely, barring any last-minute profiteering by sellers. So take it for what it's worth. Obviously, pretty bullish on ADA here. So we'll see how this plays out. And obviously, we'll see how Bitcoin plays out. Will we go down to 37,500 or maybe lower? I hope it doesn't go lower. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it continues going up. But we'll have to keep an eye on it, obviously. So something to be mindful of. And then Intel is obviously great news for especially the miners here. Depending on what they're able to provide as far as what their hash rate is, energy usage, and things like that, some of the miners that bought a lot of the Bitmain miners, the XPs, those guys will do fine. Some of the guys that have the older miners and things like that, and start buying the newer ones, possibly. We don't know when Intel's going to even release these. So when those come out, those should be obviously the flavor of the month, basically. And then we'll see where those go, hashing-wise, power-wise, efficiency, and everything else. But interesting nonetheless. So, and then ADA obviously is doing good right now. So there's at least one bright light out there. So that's it. That's all I wanted to bring to you guys. Let me know what you guys thought of the stories. Obviously, what you thought of the miners going down. Obviously, if Bitcoin goes down to 37,500 or so, the miners are going to go down. So that's why I'm kind of hesitant to buy right now. We'll see. But like I said, I probably want to pick up a little bit more Cleanspark here in the coming days to weeks. But that's just my own use. Please do your own research as always. I do appreciate you guys watching so very much. Thank you for doing that. And if you enjoyed this, obviously, please hit the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell. Helps me out a lot. That's all I ask. See you guys in the next one. Until then, have a great night.